Remind the people what happened during our charity event.
A bunch of people did some streaming stuff and, for money for Learn. That's what happened during the charity event. But, specifically during our game, we were all sitting there at a bar like it was our normal day in the speakeasy, and we were like, Elle went and danced. Somebody wanted to start a fight over not being with the prettiest girl in the school anymore, or some other dumb fuck reasons, who cares. Then Francis decided to pull out his gun, and got bitch backed for it. More conversation ensued. Then we all got kicked out because it was closing time. Moon's heard a weird color. Weird smell in the air. We all got to talking. Saw a girl running from the woods, looking like maybe she was attacked. We went over, found Deputy Dipshit. Talked to the girl, figured out that her boyfriend got eaten by the forest coming alive and getting dragged into the water. Igor's ghosty girlfriend is like, you should go to the cemetery instead. Don't be like those idiots. So of course somebody listened to it. And 3 people went to the cemetery, 3 people went to the attack site. Random insert creature here attacked for no reason that had nothing to do with the story.
Yeah, that was the charity thing.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Many boss decided to get in on the action.
So they found a locket at the cemetery. At the attack site, we were looking around. More insert random encounter here. Because we walked a little too far into the tall grass.
Yep.
Then we found the creature. Then we found the creature that's been eating people. Then we dragged it up on shore, electrocuted it, beat it a couple times, shot it with a bunch of bullets, and was like, You know what? Let's scoop this thing up into a bunch of wine into a wine bottle, a bunch of flasks, some other randomly shaped glass receptacles that Francis had on him, and then we buried it in concrete.
And today, Nav is taking over, so I will let him start.
Yeah, did anyone have anything that they were intending on doing afterwards? Or you just going home for a night?
Something?
Well,
no. Someone? Yes.
But yeah, we know in Elle's case, they are away to do someone in their flashy car, or they're going to take their flashy car that probably costs more than everyone else's houses combined, and go and do someone.
Or what the creature was.
Not
Not.
And we'll find out.
Yeah, unless anyone has anything that they intend to do that night.
no, sir.
I would probably try and do at least a bit of investigation to see if there is something to learn about what it was, or what it wanted, or like why it was here.
Well, I mean, most of that you would have been able to get at the, what you would have been able to get, you would have gotten at the scene. Bear with me for a second. I just need to get a specific. Yeah. So essentially, nothing else really happened that night. So everyone can basically go home. Yeah.
Well, home, go sleep in their office.
All right. So anyway, well, essentially nothing else really happens on that. The monster's dealt with. So basically, just gonna cut to the next time you guys are at the bar. So probably the next night, sometime in the afternoon.
Are we fully healed, or?
Yeah, I was going to ask about that. Like, mechanically, how does that work for healing?
I don't think I actually went over that.
All right. Well,
I mean, I was assuming.
Guys, look at it this way. You'll get 1 luck per mystery back or added. Okay? So, like, if you have 11 and you're supposed to have 12, you're not going to get another one until the next mystery. Does that make sense? Or did I confuse you?
In other words,
we're
you can have up to 7. If you've used 3 during the session, you're down to 4. After the mystery is over, you can go back up to 5.
Yes.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. So, that is for the luck. For your harm, you are getting, at this point in time, you're still on the first mystery. Again, 1 harm can be healed up per day unless you have something special. Now that is per day, that's not per session, that's per day. So if you guys wait 2 weeks, there you go. But
Unless you go into like more extremes, like for example, going more towards dying, or it becomes like a more critical injury, like a broken leg or things like that. As I would say.
Depending on how much time there is between stuff, because like there is an intent to have essentially like in-universe downtime between mysteries. It's not going to be like every single day there's a new mystery, so no one gets a chance to heal. No, there may be a few days, a couple of weeks. It depends on how things are going.
It's also very possible that a mystery, for example, can take like 6 weeks for one mystery. Yeah, I got no problem.
Yeah, quite possibly, depending on how things go.
And
so
that could be 6 weeks real time.
it may be. It may take 6 individual sessions to get through something. It just depends how much people are enjoying things going ahead.
Give you 1 experience per. You get 1 XP for this last time this last mystery from us directly. Starting today, any mistakes or any failed rolls or any special events, you can add to it on that. And when we're dealing with luck, you're going to get 1 per mystery. To add back. So, anything else before we get started?
Yeah, we're gonna pick up like the next day, or like it's been a couple of days, and you guys are back at the bar.
Mhm.
So when you guys come into the bar,
Let me change it.
So yeah, anyway, you guys all come in and you have your standard positions around the bar that you all fill in, and it seems more or less that it's business as usual. So does anyone remember what happened with Candy with an eye?
Yeah, she got attacked. I ended up giving her over to Boss Brown until such a time as other things. I mean, the first thing Elle would do getting there is actually go up to Scott and be like, Scott, so what did you end up doing with Candy?
Oh, when you walk in, he's just sort of milling about around the back end of the bar, as he tends to do. When you come up and ask him, he'll kind of look around for the other players. Are you guys there basically as soon as the place opens, or do you fill in later?
9 o'clock.
Yeah. I was going to say they're like 6 p.m. kind of thing.
Okay, fair enough.
Like generally, it's not necessarily going to be open during when the college itself is operating. But yeah.
Okay.
early
Gotta teach them.
That makes
Gotta
sense.
teach them kids to drink responsibly.
No, you don't. It's the 1920s. Everyone's downing everything like water. Everyone drinks like a fish. Just ask Vinny.
We just got through the look. We just got through the Great War, man.
Exactly.
You know, we've earned our break.
Were you in it? Oh yeah, we talked about this. You were. I remember this.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, when he'll look around and spot those that are currently here, and he'll mention that yes, I was going to speak to you about that, but I'd actually like to speak to the entire group because I have a few offers that might be interesting for you.
Well, that's fine. I'm still gonna go check on her. So where is she?
I will take her to you. I will take you to her very soon.
I was going to get a very stern look on their face. You're being cagey about this, but I'm going to accept it for now.
He is in better condition than when you brought her to us.
So you say.
So I know.
And then,
For the time being, he's gonna essentially just continue checking over, like, inventories and stuff, having a few words with Jack.
I was going to.
10 minutes after the place opens, Francis will run in, hat tucked under his arm. Cain just kind of under the other arm.
Didn't they teach you no running in the halls?
You think I got the role of professor by listening?
I'm sorry. What was that?
Did you think I got the role of professor by listening?
I'm sorry. What was that?
Oh, step 1, add beer. Step 2, add more beer. Step 3, simmer. Step 4, shake.
You drink till it.
Step 5 is rattle and roll.
I was say step 5 is ask what the hell is all over this floor. Step 6 is add more beer. I will look at Francis. I don't care if you listen to your school rules, but you're going to listen to mine, and there's no running in the bar.
He sighs, takes his cane out from under his arm, and then just casually walks over to the bar.
Yeah, like from the very moment you come in, Hayden's looking at you as if to say, "Oh God, not this guy again."
Al is going to, without even talking to Scott or Jack, throw down some money, grab a bottle from behind the bar, and go over to the table they usually sit at.
At this time, the bartender, Jack, he really doesn't care anymore because Elle spends so much time basically working for the bar that, he doesn't care.
Doesn't even notice the money.
Then I will slightly limp over to the bar, still sitting on 3 harm. Well, table, not bar. I was already there.
Yeah, you get to nurse away your injuries.
To be fair, you did say it was like, what, 2 days since that event happened?
Dude, it was like 12 hours ago.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So I should still be at...
I mean,
You're nearly dead. Let's put it that way.
No, I am not nearly dead.
No?
I got lay on hands, which healed me.
Yeah, the reason L's so bad is because they took 2 of
Oh, okay.
Cain's harm.
yeah, and just keep in mind that whole thing. If it goes really badly, those hands are messy.
Yup.
Very messy.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, as we said earlier, like, for narrative purposes, you can essentially be as injured as you feel like, or you can have mostly healed up.
I'll keep it this way. It's been one
yeah.
night, so I'll heal all
I
one.
mean, for the most part, it's not necessary unless, depending on what people do, it probably isn't going to matter for this session anyway. So yeah, things progress and people flood in or file in, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
And Cain just ends up somehow wandering in.
I will point out though that you will kind of notice that on people walking in, Jack is very quick to have your standard drink basically poured out almost the minute you come in, regardless of if there's anyone else like already there ordering a drink. You're clearly getting a little bit of preferential treatment the moment you come in.
All of us?
Everyone.
Ah. So about that tab I've been...
You keep cutting off, by the way, Nathaniel.
Brandy starts to come in and notice her parents there and says, LD. We might want to be a little bit, on the down low right now.
You're the one that's usually getting more handsy at the bar than I do.
At this point in time, I think seeing Mom, as Mom is giving a disapproval of what's going on. Yeah, I think she's got a problem. I'll wait. How she goes to bed.
So, did your parents learn of the bar through you, or the other way around?
Do they what?
Did they learn of the speakeasy through Brandy, or did Brandy learn of it through them?
I learned it through them.
Interesting. I will pour glasses, slide one over to Brandy.
She accepts the drink and looks and sees who's coming through. And notices that there's actually a cop here today. A known cop. Now, you all who have been here a while know that this cop kind of is very easy on this particular bar because, well, he likes it a little bit, as well as he also likes to take the take.
I mean, this school also has a reputation to uphold. It's a big part of our economy at the moment.
Exactly.
And having looked up a missive out of game, this place really did have a big effect on the economy after it was built.
Yes. And you notice this one goes over to Hayden and starts the conversation with Hayden at the bar. I hope everything is well, sir.
He kind of nods. Yeah.
Just so you know, my deputy is still telling all kinds of things about last night. So, just warning. He might be coming around.
He kind of has a glance across the assembled player group for a brief moment, and then back to Lagoon. Telling them what?
telling him about
did he
the
see?
lady who the boy was supposed to take. And never got there in time.
Well, to be fair, your man was, shall we say, rather gung-ho.
He always is. That's Sydney for you.
Yes. Yes, I heard he essentially was treating her as if she was naked and running through the streets, as she was clearly not in that level of distress.
She doing well?
She's fine.
From the
Anything
table.
I-
So you say.
Anything I can
Why
put
not?
on the books that will work?
You can simply mention that we took her off the hands.
All right. I'll be back to check up on her.
Why don't you try her home?
All right. If she's home.
We didn't keep her.
Okay. Well, just warning you, Sydney may be coming around, sticking his nose where it don't belong.
And again from the table. And if he acts up, he'll be asked to leave, just as everybody else is.
The bartender hands over an envelope to the police officer, and the police officer leaves.
Oh, just before he can, Hayden does remark that he has a commendable attitude.
A commendable attitude.
Yes.
So he shouldn't go to Alaska this week?
Well, I wouldn't send him to Alaska. Maybe just out of town. For a couple of days.
Just make him another district's problem.
For a couple of days, it will.
Oh, there are far worse people in the law enforcement industry than he is. He's a little bit gung-ho, but his heart's in the right place.
I resemble that remark.
Well, after all, he is a green.
Well, maybe one day he'll actually make an impression and become a detective. You never know.
Maybe.
There's a
Resemble
snort
that
from the
remark,
table.
sir.
Sorry, what was that?
There's
He
a
turns...
snort from the table from L. Would you say maybe he'll make detective?
Yeah.
Well, first he's got to live long enough.
First, he has to understand the difference between a victim and a suspect.
Yes.
There's a very slight audible click of, like, clicking the tongue and a nod towards L, while still looking at Lagoon. Like, yeah, L knows exactly what that is.
All right.
Yeah, it's actually what they say.
Now, what did you say resemble that remark, sir? And he looks over to Nathaniel.
I'm sorry, were you a part of this conversation? I was talking to my friend Vinny here.
You
It's definitely just said, and I didn't hear any other conversation going on. So I'm just curious. Anyway.
Oh, yeah, I suggest you get yourself a new pair of ears. Listening to other people's talks, spying on people, that's my job.
Ah, so you're the boy.
That's what they call me.
About him.
Did you do the paperwork?
I don't know who this is addressed to.
You.
Looking straight at you.
Paperwork for what?
The Dane that ended up having herself messed up.
Dame who's the dame whose gentleman got a little too handsy and she had to run off, leaving him, no doubt, drunk on that devil swill liquor, to wander into the swamp and drown. Happens every day. Every
Take it. I'll
day.
drink to that.
Every day. Very well. Good enough for the paperwork. Good enough for me.
Pansy.
What did you say? And he looks straight over at Igor. What?
Igor's just looking around, drinking this really steaming drink.
Like the glass itself is beginning to like disintegrate in your hands.
Yes, yes.
There's currently like a war of what do you call it? It's like the Cold War kind of thing, you know. Everyone, each side is trying to one up themselves, and it's basically Jack trying to figure out something that he's going to give to Igor, who is maybe just going to sniff it and then put it down. And yet everything that he's given to Igor so far, he's just drank no problem.
Anyway.
So over the corner, you hear somebody say, "Hey, that looks like some pretty strong stuff. Can we get some of that?"
Yeah, to which Jack immediately says, "No, you won't live."
I'll have what she's having.
Yeah, it's like,
No.
no, you won't.
What did they
You
have?
want to
What
live.
did they have? What you're having? Check.
It stings when it goes down.
You do understand that's illegal in 4 countries, right?
Well, you know, Mr. Hayden, I will say my dues and go check up on the lady.
Oh, good luck, Lugan.
I'll be back.
Ta-ta.
Ta-ta.
He kind of makes that point of doing like the lift up the hand and wave with literally just the ring finger.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, everyone's turned up. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's there. It's a really slow night.
Yeah.
It's
Once
Tuesday.
everyone's had at least their one freebie drink that they've gotten. Of course, not counting L because L effectively gets free drinks all the time.
I paid. Not my fault they didn't notice the money.
Bar.
Well, the money disappears, but the thing is, like, L could effectively just like pick up half the bar contents and bugger off with it. No one's saying shit. They've done enough to be of benefit to the bar. You know, they're not officially being paid, other than drinks. They're there.
Hey, the IRS isn't.
Hey, the IRS can't do you if they don't know what you owe.
And they can't tax you on a business they don't know exists.
Exactly.
So true.
Yep.
Yeah.
It is a fairly slow night, so most of the people are gone. Even the parents of Brandy end up leaving and giving the eye to their children, to their daughter. Expecting her home at a decent hour.
Well, we'd rather them give them the eye than the finger.
Yeah, exactly. You know, unfortunately, we're not getting into that. So yeah, essentially, once a few choice people have left and things are kind of quiet, there is a point where, with the conversation going on, with the things that Vinny's mentioning, at some point Hayden will literally just walk over to the corner of the bar, leaning on one side, and just say, "So L has a few things that they would like to check. Would the rest of you, any like literally motions to each of the PCs, would all of you like to follow me?"
Who is saying this?
Hayden,
The dude who owns the bar.
yeah, this guy here.
And he just move these. Vinny kind of motions over towards, make a hand towards L. Wants to check things out. So you're asking us to come with you? I guess I'm not really seeing the correlation between the two.
Would you like to have a follow-up to what happened earlier this morning?
Exactly. You were all involved in
That's a better.
and
Okay,
previous
that makes
things
more
events.
sense. Thank you.
Yeah, you
Considering-
were all involved in the event, so it's only right that you all get the closure on said event.
Looks at the 4 empty glasses in front of Vinny. I think the answer for you is going to be a yes, and you're going to find more answers with
Yeah.
us than at the bottom of that bottle.
Yeah. Speaking of
Yeah.
which,
Admittedly, you can all think, you know, the. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
go ahead. Cain was just gonna get a bottle of rum.
Okay. Admittedly, when Vinny is talking, he's got kind of like a slight shake to his hand. Not from the drink or whatnot. It's like you can kind of tell like what happened. You know, kind of was kind of taxing. You know, brought some things to his face. Things to the surface that you just should not see. You know, so he's
It fucked him up.
you know taking it like anybody in that position, any normal person in that position would.
Conversely, and Vinny would probably pick this up given what he's gone through, Elle doesn't seem any different aside from the physical injuries.
Correct.
Like, they
Like
have been.
there are some of you that are responding like there's this like this is like, you know, a Tuesday,
I mean, it is.
and then for the rest of you know, for the people like me, it's like. So I'm looking around, like thinking to myself, he's got kind of this expression on his face of like, "Who the fuck are you people?" You know, as he goes along with it, going in the back room here, but you can tell he's
Yeah, Francis just tips his hat with his cane.
There's nothing that the universe can't throw at me that I won't make worse in my own head.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, on doing your little hat tip with Cain, Hayden's gonna say to Francis, "Oh, by the way, next time you do that, you will find that gun leaves your possession.
Fair enough.
Don't ever do that again."
I have to defend myself everywhere I go. He
Well,
says as everybody
Bar
notes them.
fight.
What you
From
don't
a
have the right to
bar
do is
fight.
load a handgun in the middle of a bar where nobody is even actively threatening you.
Exactly. It was a bar fight.
Oh no, Hayden, the gun came out before any trouble even started.
Oh yes, that's my point. It was a bar fight. What's he gonna do if someone picks up a bottle? Immediately pull out his cane and start beating people?
I mean, I could. This thing does have a
I
does have a
really
metal
hope
top.
He goes from kind of doing that thing where you sort of lean against something, looking at one person, to like just bodily shifting to looking at the other person. Like, I really hope you wouldn't. Anyway, if you would all care to follow me, and he turns and heads through what is essentially to the back room of the bar. The chances are Elle is probably the only person that would likely have noticed, you know, the position of that table, being able to see through the doorway, that there are like a few offices in the back, you know, a couple of storerooms, or just like a little kitchen area, that kind of thing.
I mean, Cain would have, because Cain's right here.
Yeah, if that's his standard place, then yeah.
Yeah.
You guys have definitely seen the little glance through the doorway.
But just Cain goes up to the bar before he follows you, pays for a bottle of rum, follows.
Fair enough.
Elle will leave alcohol for now, but we'll light up one of the cigarillos that they have for following.
Have you ever considered getting some cigars? I think it might look sophisticated on you.
Who are you saying that to?
To me, the
Oh.
only one who's gone other way to say that they've been smoking. I've looked into it. The problem is hand rolling cigars myself. A little too much more, a little more work than I want to put into it. Look at the obvious hand-rolled cigarillos.
Thinking stogies.
So I'm assuming everyone's following along. No one's making a point of not.
Well, yeah, no problem. Even though like Nathaniel and I are kind of having a typed conversation, but I mean, is
Yeah,
yeah, we're still talking along. Yeah.
I've been reading it. I'm actually gonna comment on it to Cain and listen to part of it as they're walking ahead of the others and be like, and this is why I believe he needs to back out of this life.
I know. I mean, I not understand where he's coming from. First time with me. But I do partially get it.
I don't know, I understand it, and that's why this type of visceral reaction isn't the first time he's had this.
Now, my question is, do you really know what that thing was, or have
No.
any clue at all?
No,
Hell, I've never even seen something like that.
didn't really have enough time to look into what it was before it appeared. There are a lot of times where I don't know what the bad thing is that's coming up, that's causing an issue. It doesn't stop me, or it doesn't stop the need from making it go away.
That's fair. I mean, considering with you count as your own living weapon effectively. I have to do the research into it.
I mean, the research helps. Being able to hammer through a wall isn't as good as being able to figure out which brick to pull to take it all down.
That is true.
As soon as you say that, you notice that Hayden has basically led the group into one of the offices, and there's a brick wall that he walks up to, and just as you're saying that, he makes a point of saying very apt choice of words as he pushes part of it and like reveals the fact that there's a hidden door there from one of the offices into a staircase that leads downwards into what's basically the foundations for the memorial library. And basically says, so if you would all like to follow me, and he looks at Vinny and says, your concerns will be put to rest. And
Put
kind of
to-
motions for everyone to follow.
Put to rest, you're saying.
He knows more than he's letting on.
Put to
As-
rest. That was a fucking tree. I mean, am I the only one here that's going to address the elephant in the room?
Hayden kind of does the gesture of like, calm down. Like, one, he's not a tree, and two, I'm going to explain everything. So, please.
Wait, he's not. Oh Lord. Okay, this I gotta say.
That is what I said.
You didn't figure it out, Mr. Detective?
You just hear Francis chuckling in the background.
Please don't conduct electricity like that.
No. You guys pulled the locket from a cemetery, right?
Yup.
When you showed it to it, it had a reaction,
Yup.
right? It looked at Igor. You've been saying that the girl in the locket is the one who's been talking to you, yes?
And Igor will just nod at you.
The sludge monster, whatever the hell you want to call it, tree, mold thing. That was her husband.
Obvious.
Was.
Yes. A, because he might have still been alive in that form, whatever life that would have happened to be. She was clearly dead. And if the information Cain gave me is true, they never found their bodies, which is why their crypts were empty.
Exactly.
Which means somebody paid quite a bit to put coffins in there and make a show of it.
That happens a lot when bodies can't be recovered, but when people are assumed dead.
Yeah, there's nothing really that unusual about that.
Just glancing around.
How many of our boys didn't make it back from the Great War?
Igor will straight up notice Claire sitting on a filing cabinet in the office, like doing the cross leg, leaning one hand on her chin, like listening to the conversation intently.
Other hand polishing the nails, right?
Oh no, she's actually like just sitting there listening, like she doesn't seem to fully perceive the other people in the group, but she's clearly just listening to what people are saying, finding it very interesting.
I will turn back to Vinny. If you're gonna keep pursuing this, you're gonna walk into a world that I don't think you're ready for.
You just hear Hayden chuckle as he starts off down the steps, like, I couldn't have put it better.
What you saw last night, that was the edge of the weird.
Just the edge.
It gets worse.
Come on, Vinny, it ain't that different than what you were doing before.
Francis
no,
can
it's
notably
very
come up
different.
behind, will notably turn around, place a hand on his shoulder, and say, "Don't worry, bud. It gets weirder from here." It's quite the rabbit hole, actually.
Think about
Kane's gonna
what you
follow
saw
L.
me do to him. Gesture to Cain, who is nowhere near as dead as he should be.
Yeah. And bear in mind, I should have been electrocuted. I should be dead.
You really think the case of those 3 dead guys is as simple as some getting murdered?
I mean, they
Obviously
were ultimately
not.
murdered.
I will tell you this, as like Kane's kind of just following
Oh,
L,
no.
and
Elle has not gone down the stairs yet.
Oh,
This is
fair.
happening in the hallway.
so
Ahead of it.
Kane's gonna look back at Vinny. It is somewhat like what you do. Yes, investigation work does happen. You have to do research into it. That thing, even I don't even know what it was. I've been
Very-
doing this for years.
Very rarely will you be able to look at something and know what it is out the gate.
Okay. Well, all of you are looking around like this is your basic Tuesday, and it's fine for those of you.
No,
that-
it's like a basic Tuesday for
No, I will scratch their face, pull out a small pocketbook, look at it. Oh no, it is Tuesday.
And that may be fine for all of you, and you can all have your laughs and whatnots, and ha ha ha! Look at the normal person amongst the whatever you are. Look, maybe I'm not, reacting like this in a stoic manner, or in one of those people from those pulp books where they can go off and see all the fancy things and just glance about it like it's nothing and just ha. Just like I am this, just like that radio play with the shadow. But maybe I'm not like that. Maybe I'm not like all of you people in here who see this night and day go back and forth. Maybe I'm just one of those guys that's just a normal person off the street. But understand that maybe, just maybe, I'm here for this different reason than you. I have different capabilities than you. But that doesn't make me, as you said, not worth being around, not worth, how'd you put it, shouldn't be into this kind of a thing, or shouldn't be around it at all, or just simply can't handle it. And if you can handle it, maybe you're handling it a little bit too much. Maybe something like me might be a little bit of the normalcy, or the little bit of the what do you want to say, the counterbalance that maybe that you've been looking for. Or maybe I'm just too far into what I'm dealing with in here, and I'm just going to come out here and realize I've been sitting in one of those asylums, and all this has been made up in my head, and or I'm going to wake up next to an ex-wife after a bad dream and think to myself, dear Lord, what could be worse than this? So maybe you're right that I can't handle this stuff. Maybe this is way far beyond my means, and maybe I won't be able to accept it, but I guess we'll never know until we get there. So at this point, gentlemen, he says, and it goes down, light up a cigarette. Lead on.
Well, a consideration before we move on for the future. Maybe don't down 3/4 of a bottle before you decide to make any hasty choices.
I've only had 3 shots, my friend.
Here.
I do enjoy the drink, my friend, but it does not enjoy me. It is one of the few things that I've been able to accomplish more than so many of those that are in my position out there.
I'll just shrug. If you say so. But you can only remain functioning on a vice for so long. Then he'll turn and start heading down the stairs.
Cain's gonna follow.
Welcome to the team, buddy.
You guys are going to end up right
Nathaniel
here.
just like immediately grabs Vinny into like the big handshake. Always nice to have another public servant.
We're at Karsa.
Bottom
Right
left.
here.
Oh shit. Just like Popo went by.
Now, as you were heading down that direction, all of you, including Hayden, Hayden will pass by a lovely lady who looks like she's dressed to the nines, and she seems to have that look like, Hayden, I don't want to be here right now. You better have a good reason. And it looks like those vials that you were throwing into the concrete seems to be in our hands at the moment.
Oh, why did you dig him up?
What does this aisle, like, plate room and stuff that we're walking into look like?
Looks like a hallway to me.
We should have just thrown them in a furnace.
Like, basic hallway, but yeah, is there anything on the walls? Is there, like, artwork? Is there...
It is as if it was back in the 1800s when the Freedom Trail was coming through. And there's a lot of corridors and catacombs in this area, and it looks the area that you were going through looked very much like dirt and grime and whatnot, and then you come to a part that seems a little bit more clean and has wood on the ground instead of concrete.
Was there like a door or something, a couple doors we passed through, or
Yes,
any
you
sort of,
passed
like,
through
barriers?
several different doors and kept going, and some of the places that you see in the recess of the that you saw that were recessed on my map. That's some of the areas that you were going under.
What kind of, was there any lighting underneath in those tunnels, or is it pitch black?
Very, very dark, but not pitch black.
It's dark, but like once you come into this hallway, this is properly lit. The connecting area between the back end of the bar and this spot clearly has been left a bit to look like it's disused, that no one comes in here. So there's like the basic lighting that you would need in order to just move through the space, but essentially, yeah, it looks kind of run down and everything. But then as soon as when you come through the door, you're effectively, you would get the impression like, you've just stepped back like 70 years in terms of the decor and everything. Like I know it's not going to be a huge change, but clearly it's of a previous generation.
Like an 1890s, 1880s aesthetic.
It would actually be
Yeah.
before, so it'd be the Freedom Trails, so it'd be before 1840.
Yeah, but then there's also a kind of there's a transient nature to it as well, where stuff is being updated as well.
Slowly.
Yeah, like the space has been disused for a while, but there is like evidence of, like, say, workmen, for instance, have been like fixing panels and such. Like there's areas of the floor which are clearly newer, and some that are very well worn, but they're all in kind of like a decent quality. It doesn't look like you're going to step on a space and it's just going to like collapse and you're going to fall into some cave.
Now the vials are never put close enough at all to the other vials, but they are kept separate. But she is cataloging them.
Yes, there's several crates, like the wooden forerunner to the modern milk crate. There's several of those that, funnily enough, Cain would definitely recognize a branding that's been seared into the side of one of them, as from a little shop that he's intimately familiar with.
Very intimately familiar with.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
In fact, you swear you see the lady down the way.
Yeah, the conversation between Hayden and the woman who, for all she's wearing like a kind of evening gown, she's also got a lab coat over the top of it, and she does not look happy to be there. And she kind of regards the group as you guys walk in, as effectively she's giving you the visual equivalent of
Why are you? Why am I here? Why? I can
and Hayden's just saying is, you know exactly why you're here.
I know. Catalog.
Yeah.
Sees Francis. Now, why is he here?
Elle also has a disgruntled look on their face, looking at the vials, and they actually will say, like, "Why did you dig them up?
I told you we should have burned them.
Didn't have a furnace on hand."
That would have been an incredibly bad idea, Mr. Lake. That really would have been.
They nearly killed us.
Oh.
Killed him.
Yeah, Hayden just kind of like sighs and rolls his head to the side and, I really wish people would sometimes just follow and then take a seat, and otherwise, shut up.
I mean, if you're gonna be rude about it, I can just leave.
I really don't want you to. I don't want you to.
He definitely doesn't want you to, Mr. L.
Yeah, he kind of lifts.
Or Miss.
Just Elle.
Yeah,
just,
she's not good.
L.
She's
There you
not
go.
good.
Like Madonna.
Yeah.
L it is.
But you have to stop assuming that L presents as one specific, because L doesn't.
I'm sorry, Mr. Hayden. I was trying my best to explain.
Oh no offense taken. Everybody makes the mistake.
Thank you, L.
It took me 3 weeks.
I still have
Needle to annoy.
Got it.
Igor, you notice that your lovely friend, who used Claire, is all around that area where they're doing the cataloging. And it just seems like she's watching.
Yeah, she's taking a special interest in the vials and everything.
Keep those. I would separate those as much as you can. When it was conglomerated, it could regenerate.
Yes, that's what we were worried about.
Hence the burying it in concrete.
Might not be
Yeah,
able to prevent it permanently, but
fair. To be fair to the entire situation, the shorthand is, this is why I've asked you here.
I've kind of
Like,
gotten that.
yes, yeah, I'm aware that you have definitely picked up more on what's going on here. So
I'll admit I'm a tad flabbergasted. What's this about vials?
you watched
The-
us scooping the stuff
the
up.
creature from
You
last night,
killed.
and he gestured at the vials. This is Alexander, or what's left of him. We don't know why he's in this state, but we are aware of something made him this way. We would like to figure out why, and also why he essentially was responsible for roughly the last. He looks at the woman. Is it 9 years worth of disappearances? Like, she just kind of nods. Yeah, it's nine years worth of disappearances and in that area.
So what I'm hearing is you don't know what he turned into either.
That is correct.
We have some theories.
Let me guess. You're Cain, correct?
Yep.
Ah, yes.
What gave it away? Was it the rough demeanor or the patchwork coat?
Yeah,
The giant ass sword.
Hayden just kind of does
he
that,
doesn't
like,
have a sword
shoulder
on him.
deflation. Yeah,
Oh.
Hayden just kind of does the shoulder deflation. Did you not read files?
The
Oh,
only
no.
thing, like, Cain
I
will carry into a
did
building
read the
like this
files,
is-
but I've been busy taking care of these vials.
That rhymed.
From Al, it was just gentle ribbing at Cain for the fact that they basically dress at the complete opposite ends of the spectrum.
Exactly. Like, it's just L dresses like elegant.
Oh.
Cain's just like.
Oh
fuck
yeah,
it, move off.
it's very easy for people to get the two confused. They're so alike.
So I think there's also like a foot in height difference.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
So yeah, he kind of just like follow me. I have a meeting room set aside for this explanation. Is there anything else you need, Ashley?
No, sir. Although I think that Kara would like to talk to you.
Son of a bitch, I called it.
Oh, is that the lady that, or the miss that you go and get your equipment from?
Yep.
Huh?
Recognize the branding on the crates.
Makes sense why she continued to deal with you. She already knew what you were doing.
Yeah, Hayden kind of glances over and like, oh yes, Cain came very highly recommended.
Ah, yes,
So-
very, very, very much, sir. Thank you for being here. Yes. Hello, Cain. It's been a while. Well, a day. But,
12
yes.
hours, car.
It's been
Yeah,
12
yeah,
years
she-
and it's been a day.
Yeah, she bounds over like the fucking Energizer Bunny.
Yes, she is absolutely full. I have been waiting so long to tell you that, yes, of us.
It's just Cain, Kara, your Scottish is coming through.
Well,
You know it's Karsa doing it.
I also brought some vials of another type of nature. If you see here, it says HW. Yes, you know exactly what those are, sir.
I do, yes.
I believe we were out of them, so I brought them in. And, also, is there anything else you need, sir?
Not that I can think of right now, though. A few of our associates here may have some items to order.
All right. Yes. Hi, I'm Kara. I am the quartermaster for this group. Welcome to the archivist and to the Waystone. Glad to see you.
Excuse me, the what and the what?
Well, clearly one's a group and one's the area.
Exactly. Thank you, Elle.
I'll be needing another stock of silver
Yeah.
bullets eventually. People keep taking mine.
No,
Hayden
I give them
kind of
back.
Yeah, exactly. They did give you the bullets back.
Yeah.
Hayden does kind of look around from behind Kara with the boundless energy, and it's just like, I was going to get to that. Yes. He eventually turned around and like, I'm going to the meeting hall. It's round the corner. You'll find it easily. It's the only door that's going to be left open.
If you need anything at all, you know exactly where to go. Just follow Cain, and he can give me your list, and I can take care of it as much as I can. I know a few people.
And Elle will smile, give Kara a winning smile, be like, I prefer to handle all of my business in person.
Very well.
Hey, it looks like you're our courier now.
They call me a quartermaster, sir.
Well,
believe he was
if I'm
talking to
courier,
Kurt.
then I'm taking. Then I do accept tips.
Oh, no. That's not tips. That's a brokerage fee. Get the terms right.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I was about to
You-
say,
you
well,
want-
here's a good tip. Don't wear suspenders with that belt.
In case he's gonna stab me.
Staying out of that, you're missing Hayden. He just went that way. Mr. Hayden
Yeah.
went that way. You might want to follow him. He doesn't like to be waiting. And he
Yeah,
has
Fred-
much to say.
Yeah,
Well-
Francis will tip his hat and then go on his way.
And she will nod to Francis. Oh, fun one. That one's gonna be. I looked at his dossier. It's interesting.
All right. Well, I was just asking everybody else because everybody else goes, and then 5 minutes later, somebody has to come back to the hallway, and Elle has taken to talking with Ashley in a much more friendly manner than they're talked to most of the other people.
Okay.
Just pops his head around the corner, back around the corner. You coming?
Not yet.
If you don't need anything, I will be heading off to my store. I will see you later. Have a wonderful day. Yes. Bye.
Yes, Carl, me and you will become fast friends soon.
Very soon. Love to see ya. Bye-bye.
And then, unless somebody forcibly goes over and moves Elle will continue to hit on Ashley.
Kane's just gonna like go behind Elle and just start pushing Elle to the meeting hall.
It's essentially
Look,
if you are hitting on Ashley,
Time.
if you're hitting on Ashley, you immediately find out she is married to a guy that spends way too much time with his work. He's some kind of really researcher or something. He's probably one of those guys that's trying to get all the the Nobel Peace Prizes and that once those come into being. Like he wants all the awards for all the great things that he does in science, and she is far too important to be here and far too busy, and everyone else should be very thankful that she has made the time to come and be there, because clearly no one can function without her.
Oh, never mind. You don't have to pull Elle away. As soon as Elle finds out she's married, they're like, oh, never mind.
They'll be friends, actually, fast friends,
Yeah.
especially since
You'll
she's a
definitely
socialite.
notice. Yeah, you'll definitely notice that like
And back.
the dress she has on under the jacket is like it's for she should be wearing that at like a function. She should be at some high class party or something.
Well,
you
yeah,
know,
that's
sipping champagne. The jacket and the goggles that she's wearing are clearly 100% the opposite of what should be worn with this evening gown.
Yes.
yeah.
And likely what would be considered proper for a woman at the time.
But for
Yeah,
some
she
reason,
kind of has a
knows
little
lot
bit of
stuff.
the crazy scientist vibe about her.
Like
but
she
she-
could be Marie Carey.
So, dead of radiation poisoning?
No. Not yet, at least.
Although to be fair, you probably would not. She's the kind of person you would not be surprised if that did end up happening. And it was probably entirely intentional because she wanted to find out how that affects people, and then got the shock of her lifetime, which you did find out.
Yes.
I like the dude who discovered ulcers.
Right. So yeah, she's.
Or was no, not ulcers. Fuck, now.
But she will be very pleasant with you since you are a socialite, and but then she will go back to her cataloging, and then as you can see,
at some point
she's
down the hallway.
cataloging it to a point where she's separating them severely.
Yeah. Yeah, and like she's also taking a lot of precaution in terms of not breaking anything.
Yeah.
Like she does clearly understand the detriment if several of these vials get bust. And,
Puts back together.
Yeah, as you head along the hallway to the meeting room, you do notice there is one of the doors expressly with a like painted sign above it saying labs. That is where she essentially heads off to.
And
Now,
I'll-
Igor, you do not notice Claire is with you. She's not with you, at least. She stayed back.
L suppresses the desire to break one of the locks when he said it would be the only door open.
Well, I mean, to be fair, you find all the doors are actually unlocked. They're just closed.
That's not the point.
Well, I know it's not the point. It's just if you do end up interacting with any of the doors, that's what you find. But yeah, so as people start to file into the room, you find Hayden sitting at a desk, and there's enough chairs for everyone there, and around the table are files with each of the character names on them. Each of your names are there, and if you decide to have a look at them, essentially these files contain basically all the publicly available information on each of you. Things like addresses, contact information, rough work history. There's also a few photos, including a couple that actually you definitely recognize the park that these photos were taken at last night. We're walking in, like he's sitting there having a smoke. It's the first time you actually seen him doing this. No, it was Francis was the first one to follow him in, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Politely takes his hat off and puts it on the table and leans on it. It's a very sturdy hat.
The way I imagine like Cain getting L is the fact when he poked his head around the corner, he's like just to tell L to stop flirting and come on.
Well, no. You poke around. You're the one that notices the ring on her finger. You're like, she's married. I was like, oh, damn. All right. Well, clearly we're gonna be spending a lot more time together, but not in that way.
She kind of gives the implication of maybe that's not actually
Totally truthful? Maybe in the future?
Yeah, maybe it's one of those marriage of convenience things. There's an implication that her husband is more married to her work than he is to her.
He's married to her money.
And she may get rid of him at some point.
He's
Right.
he's
Get
married
rid
to
of
her
him.
money.
Get rid of him or get rid of him.
Yeah.
Well, that second one would have much worse complications coming from the literal angel.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly.
But Elle will pick up their file and go and like lean next to what I'm assuming is a fireplace.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Surprisingly,
pick up
that
his, go through
chimney
his.
does go to a certain place that follows up forward, and even the chimney matches with the chimney that is up in the library. So,
What exactly happened at the cemetery?
No. You guys fight this bug thing?
Yeah.
We did.
As a matter of fact, yes.
Oh yeah, same here.
Yeah,
I'm sure those
Hayden-
corpses have been
Hayden
recovered.
kind of leads forward like, yes, we really
Hey.
have no idea why you encountered those.
Hey Igor, you still got that
That's
acid?
one of the things that you could maybe help with.
Well, I'm just saying, how are we going from Tree Man attacks people to we know that this Tree Man was actually a ghost dame that Igor claims he sees?
No,
There's
Well,
leaps
no,
and logic
he,
happening here that I'm not quite
yeah.
following.
he kind of lifts a hand. No. To explain, the creature, and he makes like air quotes, the creature you encountered at the lake, his name was Alexander. I believe you came across 2 empty caskets.
Yup.
well, they
Was
did.
not at the cemetery.
And the L gesture to Cain, Igor, and Vinny.
Vinny.
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of gives that nod. That's like, I know. Yeah, so you came across these 2 empty caskets, one named for a man named Alexander, and one named for a woman, Claire. Yes.
Yep.
Well, from what we've heard from the talk recently, Igor, and he obviously looks across to Igor, you can see Claire.
Snaps his fingers a couple of times in front of Igor's face. I think Igor sees a lot of things. That doesn't necessarily mean that what he's seeing is Claire, or that Claire's
Nah.
husband turned into a tree monster. Like, I'm still not seeing the connective tissue here.
Well,
He's not the only one who technically saw her. Well, I didn't exactly see her. Saw something moving through the mist. Well, you assume that was her.
well, we
So you
regularly
see
see
something in the
things.
mist, assume it is a dead woman because you found an empty casket. And we're also then assuming that this woman's husband, whose casket was also empty, was a tree monster.
Considering
Just
the rather,
accept it. It gets a lot easier.
considering the rather visceral reaction it had to the locket, I would say that's a very good point in that favor.
Okay, that is a
see,
connection. I was really starting to get worried about these guys, Vinny.
Yes, the problem. What's your character's surname again?
Nathaniel, your last name.
Prenton.
Oh yeah, yeah. He kind of mentions, well, Mr. Prenton, the BOI is not involved in the investigation into these events for as long as Waystone has been. We've been investigating this for a while, long enough to be aware of vastly more than was discovered last night.
So you already knew there was a tree monster made out of a dead man, and that his
We
body
knew there was
everything.
something. We knew Alexander was around. We knew he was responsible for a number of these disappearances, though we've learned a lot more from what we were able to observe last night.
See,
Okay, good.
so
You see,
you knew-
this is why I ask. These are the things you need to tell me.
So these,
Well,
so
the-
you knew the thing's name, you knew all these things about it, and you never like told the authorities or going with the army or something like that. I mean, just
Well,
They wouldn't believe them.
It's a lot other than it
Yes.
sounds, but
Yes,
Who's gonna
Mr.
really?
Finch. Mr.
Kane's
Finch.
gonna kind of speak up. Who's gonna really believe that if you tell him there's vampires, zombies, werewolves that exist?
Yeah, Hayden basically like
it's a
he
whole
he
year of my
pauses.
life.
He pauses while Kane mentions that, and then sort of tilts his head as if to say he literally just said what I was about to say. Like, yeah,
Like like, to be honest here, yesterday, if I would have told you vampires, zombies, and werewolves are a thing, would you have believed me?
Actually, in the bar, we did, and he didn't.
Yeah.
The crazy guy believed you.
That's
No,
because you'll
it's
believe
crazy.
anything.
True. But I've also seen some shit.
Hayden clearly chuckles in a way like he wants to say that, but he wouldn't.
I've got a theory about it, actually. I call it the obliviousness of the mundane. The vast majority of people will refuse to believe in these things, even when the evidence is staring them plain in the face.
You're not.
Entirely wrong.
Yeah.
He's got a point. You're not exactly wrong on that.
Fortunately for us,
I spent a year sending in evidence of vampires, werewolves, muckmen, and all sorts of witches. Not a single report was believed.
So you believe you're crazy then?
No, Francis, you're crazy for a different reason.
I'm
Well-
crazy because I've seen this shit.
suffice to say, gentlemen, I would not exactly say we aren't responsible for that, Mr. Prenton.
For what? The general public's lack of ability to believe?
No, for the BOI's choice to not believe.
You have that much pull?
This group is vastly larger than we appear.
And yet you let the creature run around, still killing for 9 years.
Suffice to say, we weren't here 5 years ago. But when we became aware of this, that's when we moved in.
Moved in and observed.
Well, what would you rather us do? Move in and start shooting everything that looks like it might be strange?
I don't
Grabbing
know,
everyone and taking them into rooms to beat the information out of them?
I
What do you
learned
think
we
are, the BOI?
we learned about it in a couple hours and dealt
Not
with the
nearly
problem.
as effective as you'd think.
We learned about it in a couple hours and got the problem taken care of.
Through being in the right place at the right time.
And sometimes it's all you need.
Exactly. Which is why we effectively would like to extend an offer to all of you as a group, effectively to work with us in this, because clearly you all have some ability, whether that's simply being your rather storied history, or yeah, your rather storied history, looking at Elle specifically. Then he glances over to Cain. You also have a very storied history in regards to the topics that we investigate. And then there's also simply having people that can see the right strings and how things connect, as he glances over at Francis.
Taps his hat with the cane. Also helps that I've run into a few creatures once or twice.
Oh, and
is
you're
my
not
point.
dead?
That's a surprise.
I
Knowing
did say I was going to need more silver bullets.
knowing the fact that at some point you and Cade had to team up in order to not die.
Yeah, you would have had to team up with Cain just to not die. It's just. Yeah,
See,
surprised you're still around, even.
each member of this group here has had direct interaction. For instance, any motions to Vinny, you may not directly see the correlation, but you are no longer a police officer due to this world. That's how long ago you came onto our radar.
I will kind of give a derisive snort at the because of the contact.
And do you have files on that specific case?
He motions to the file
The
sitting on
dossier.
the dossier. The dossier sitting on the file, sitting on the table that states, Vinny Finch or Vincent Finch, if that is
Right, right. But he was like,
individual.
so that's on me. I'm assuming. I'm talking specific on that case.
Oh, in that case, he reaches down to like a briefcase, lifts it up, and he makes the very deliberate thing of like, showing off, like unclipping the briefcase, flipping off, take a bunch out, file through it.
Slamming them on the
Takes out
table.
one. No, he takes out one that has about 8 pages in it and places it on the table, and mentions, "You might be interested in this, as might you be, Mr. What's your surname again? Riveria, sorry."
Okay, take it open up the case, and take a look through the case file.
And Cain's gonna like kind of be looking over it too.
Yeah, and it
Oh.
expressly is about that case with
Oh
the
shit.
bodies and those that had clearly been eaten, had been partially consumed by something definitely not normal.
Any facts in it that we didn't already figure out?
There's like complete lab works in terms of things like
Okay.
one of the torsos that had a chunk ripped out of it. Like there's clearly not exactly that great photographs
Mhm.
with like measurements and everything, and there's handwritten notes about like what kind of creatures might have bite sizes that size, how much pressure was required to rip a chunk out that clean, and essentially saying, there's a handwritten note there that says like, is there something that's effectively a land shark?
The fuck?
Okay.
Yeah, because like it's almost like one of the bodies has that comical shark bite out of it. It's like way too clean for something with a regular jaw strength.
So I'm reading through this and pulling out a small notepad and writing all kinds of notes.
So I take it you're reaching out to Cain and myself because you decided you actually need some muscle on your team.
Well, in your case, your skills are clearly vastly beyond working as a troubleshooter for bars around the town.
You think that's the only thing I do?
I know you do more, but I'm hoping that you might be interested in assisting us with this endeavor, because there are many people who have been victims of these cryptids, monsters, whatever you want to call them, supernatural beings, that many just put down to it was some psycho with a knife or something, and that just sidesteps the problem. That there are and he kind of scoffs for a moment, and then, like, for want of a vastly better term, evil as people see it exists. And we have unfortunately pretended that the monster under the bed doesn't exist for long enough.
You misunderstand something about people at large.
Well,
Fortunately, being from an academic standpoint as you are, the vast majority of the population needs that buffer of blissful ignorance.
Yes.
Because if everybody knew, nobody would trust anyone.
Why do you think this organization exists?
Only we who guard the secrets are unhappy. Or has that been written yet?
It has now.
Yeah, it turns out you're the one that said it.
Oh no, I'm happy in my work. This is my purpose in life. So I'm not opposed to helping you. I'm just a bit upset it took you this long to reach out.
Well, he kind of he reaches over to where there's a globe, gives it a little knock and stops it on an area that appears kind of random in sort of the middle of Europe. Taps it a couple of times and be like, when you've spent the last several years sauntering around the old countries looking for myths, it's kind of difficult to deal with things in Boston. Or, sorry, Cambridge.
Ah, dang it, why'd you have to say that?
Just turn and look at Nathaniel, expecting a follow-up.
So technically, I'm supposed to be infiltrating you guys to look for communist sympathies. I gotta put that in the report now, and not just say that you're a bunch of crazy kooks who believe in the occult.
Oh, I have absolutely no interest in the red menace. And he does the gesture like, the kind of hand claws, like, ooh, scary. Yeah,
Me neither, but that's why I'm here.
Our interest goes to things far worse. As El so eloquently puts it, people need to not know that these kind of things are real.
So you're trying to tell me that for the things that go bump in the night, you are the ones that bump back.
I have been for a long time.
Pretty much.
Same.
A little bit. Vinny, I've seen things you people wouldn't believe.
You say that.
I'm also quoting Blade Runner, bitch.
Hayden kind of just sits back with his smoke when El says that, and you reply, they're not wrong.
Demons, ghosts, vampires, werewolves, they're all real. Things from other dimensions, worlds, don't know too much about them. All I know is they're real. The bug things, I believe, are one of those.
Yeah, the bug things were the weird one.
Yeah, I don't think they had anything to do with this particular case. Nor did the zombie of, who did you say it was? The founder of MIT? Looking over at Nathaniel.
Yeah, I've been looking into that for a while. Trust me, you don't want to know.
Honestly, we have no idea what was going on with that. We were not. If we had any idea that the literal reanimated corpse of this university's founder was hanging out, was in that area, we would have been digging up that area a long time ago.
Well, I guess that's two problems dealt with.
It's almost like we were engaged in some kind of a charity game and people were trying to pay for stuff to occur. And
now you sound like him.
Things.
Not over it, Francis.
It's a mad, 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 mad world. Who can say what's out there?
As Cain's kind of looking through the file still. You guys didn't discover Fox DNA, did you?
Sorry, what?
You didn't discover Fox DNA, did you?
The likelihood you're going to run into another Kitsune this far west is highly unlikely.
Kitsune are easy. It's the Goenho you gotta worry about.
Pretty much same thing, just different name.
Fair point, I guess.
Well,
One's Korean, one's Japanese.
To be fair,
Like I said, different name. It's like Yeti and
it depends
Bigfoot.
on how these creatures actually gain, their powers and such like. I've spent a few years traveling Asia and researching some of their mythologies as well. Really need a better word than mythologies, but suffice to say that
Folklore will fit.
yes, there's a number of things in there which bear striking similarity to things over here.
Well, yeah, much like people exist everywhere, the same creatures exist in different places, much like different types of animals. They just...
As I said, Bigfoot and Yeti.
Okay, Hold on, I'm gonna look. This is the one thing Elle doesn't believe in is Bigfoot. I have never met a Sasquatch. I don't think those are particularly real. I fought chupacabras, and people don't think those are real. Nasty little fuckers.
They are.
Sasquatch
Is that what-
Sasquatches definitely aren't real
Is that-
anymore.
Is
Wait. Like, what? Hold the fucking phone. Anymore? The
Oh,
fuck
that-
you mean anymore?
Oh, are you?
Andrew Jackson was responsible for more than one genocide, friends.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I guess Manifest Destiny killed off some other shit too.
God damn. It's like.
Oh,
it's
maybe.
like,
Oh,
you're
is
just freezing.
is
Freezing
that
mid-step. Turning to face Nathaniel. The fuck did you just say?
is that why Sherman was so determined to hit the West Coast?
Much. Honestly, guys, like, fellas, listen. You can say anything I tell you. No one's ever gonna believe you.
I don't care if they believe me. In fact, again, looks over Vinny. He didn't believe it when he was getting told about vampires just last night. Anyway. See, Vinny, this is what I was talking about. You are now. You still have a chance here. You stand at the threshold of Between Worlds.
Mm-hmm.
And one monster already frayed your nerves. And the only balm you found was a poison. Are you really up for
Oh,
this?
knock it off. He wants to join. Let him join.
It's
We
quite.
could use more people willing to face the truth.
Look, let's face fast here, okay? A sane person in my position would be like, screw you guys and get the hell out of here. But then again, sometimes when you see things, you can't unsee them. They stay there. They linger. They fester. Turn into things they're not supposed to. Okay? Now, am I going to get frayed by small things like this? Yeah, of course. Maybe all of you are just more advanced than that. Maybe all of you are just a little bit better, which is fine. Which is fine. This is fine, which is clear aspect. But there's one thing that I don't let go of, as he's sifting back through that folder. I don't let a case go. Okay? That is the one thing I won't do. So you can put your little messages there and all the strange things that you've seen and the myriad of stuff that I am completely ignorant of and will be exposed to as we continue on here. And I fully understand that, but look, even as bad as it can get, I'm not letting this go. He says that he's holding on to the case. I'm not letting it go because I can't. All right? You each have your codes, you have your own ideals, you have your plans, you have your instincts, your special, wooga wooga, whatever you want to call it. You have, looking back over at Igor, whatever you do, and all the fancy things that you guys, that I've seen, okay? Which is spectacular and amazing, and let's be frank about it. I would probably be dead if it wasn't for what you guys have done. Okay? So yeah, am I going to be shaking underneath the knees? Of course I am, because, well, let's just face it, I may be the only one in this room, but I'm still human. But I'm not letting this go. So you can keep your comments, you can keep your frantics, you can keep all those little things that you want to sit around and throw a toss out here and about me being a little weak one or whatever you want to play around with your little word games. Or we can stop here and waste time.
Vinny.
Mm-hmm.
Vinny, I'm completely human.
No, you're not. You work for the government.
He's gonna laugh at that.
Yeah, Elle will take a drag.
I think everyone has a chuckle at that comment.
Yeah.
You almost think you heard Claire laugh for a second there. At least Igor did.
Yeah, literally, Hayden kind of just gestures a hand to Vinny, like, there you have it.
Well, I'm with you on it because I'm even curious of what the hell this thing is. No.
Something that should be dead.
Exactly.
That's all I need to know.
Yeah. It's
Hey guys,
still good to
I'm
have
sorry.
the research onto it.
I'm sorry to duck out early, guys, but I'm fucking exhausted from work, so I'm gonna go ahead and duck out early. But
Vinny drank too much. It's okay.
Hey, Vinny just a sleepy boy. It's fine.
I am. Alright.
Yeah, Hayden will like mention there's like a barracks room essentially that you
Sure.
can
Yeah, we'll just
crash
call it.
out.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
Something I'd like to
Consider
address.
something
If we're gonna team up, should we give ourselves a cool, snappy name like all the people are doing?
No.
Just Cain's gonna kind of pop him upside the back of the head with the case folder. No.
Ow. Lucky I wasn't wearing my hat. You could have set it off.
Wait.
Igor, you see a picture of a coin in your hands.
Hmm?
You see a coin that, or seemingly a coin in your hand that looks like. Let me see if I can get it to show up.
Should I roll for this or something?
No,
Okay.
no need. I'm just trying to get it to show to the players. There we go. Show it to everyone. And even... Do you see it?
I see it.
No,
Alright.
not at all.
Well, that's good.
I mean, you can drop the
I
image.
can see it.
into
I'm
the
just
map.
being a smartass.
Oh. Right, so Igor, you now get a vision of Cain getting smacked upside the head with a fish.
The +2
Is it
vorpal
a-
salmon of whacking?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Let's do
I
it.
wanted to say it.
I hope it happens soon.
Fuck yeah, let's do it.
So clearly that means the mystery. We're gonna have to go to the docks at some point, deal with the fishmongers, and then he's gonna have to get hit in the head with a fish.
Yeah.
He's gonna accidentally flirt with the fishmonger.
Anyway.
How are you gonna rectify being a government agent and working for a clandestine, clearly not government agency?
Oh, that's easy. Technically, I was sent here for the express purpose of infiltrating this place. I just tell Hoover that I succeeded and that I'm looking into you guys and you're a bunch of harmless quacks.
Fair enough.
I mean, from the outside, we technically are.
No, just you.
You sure I'm harmless?
No, but you are a quack.
Note that I didn't question the other part of that.
I think you're more harmful to yourself than anything else, given the cut to the montage of you firing a gun, basically a service revolver and falling on your ass, what, twice?
Four
Yeah,
times.
Interspersed with the fact that you pulled a gun and started loading it before the bar fight even started.
I know you're not harmless. I just question who you're a harm to.
Never go to my
Hayden
office.
leans forward and mentions, like, well, they are silver bullets and they do work.
Yeah, against some things. Other things, you might
Yeah.
as well be... They're gonna do less damage than you think they would, because silver's not exactly a hard metal.
I've also got gold, antimony.
Why do you have gold bullets?
I got bored one day.
You realize most of
Yeah,
the time when you
Hayden
fire them,
clearly
that's gonna
is-
liquefy before you even get to the target.
Yeah, Hayden's clearly got some impressive
Also, can
eyebrow
completely
raising
throw
going
off
on.
your aim. Gold bullets will be heavy.
Yeah, that too.
Yep. He says referring to the fact that he's also got a smaller pistol.
The antimony ones
Well,
aren't a
at
bad
least the
idea, though.
Well, at least a holster for a smaller pistol.
The antiquity bullets aren't as bad an idea as you think, though.
Oh, I know.
A lot rarer for use, but not outside the possibility.
The great thing about being at a university with a military course.
They trust you with a
Military-
gun?
I prefer to stick with lead. It was good enough for the Sasquatches, it's good enough for me.
It's good enough for most things, to a point.
Yeah, so while you guys are having the conversation there, Hayden gets up, goes over to like a bureau over to the side, and pulls
Fuck, he's
out,
got the full bureau in there?
Yeah, I can't remember the correct term. I'm pretty sure it's bureau. Anyway, the point is,
File cabinet.
there's
I
like
was
a...
referencing he's got the whole like FBI in there, just in a.
Oh,
But they
in,
don't
like,
exist yet.
No, but the Bureau of Investigation does.
Well, see, here's the thing: the FBI doesn't exist yet because it's currently stuck in a box.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, we're going full box. We've got the box of keeping, right? We've got a box of holding in the corner that the entire FBI is in. So yeah, he goes over. He pulls out this smaller
Bureau
case and comes back to the table.
Is a piece of furniture.
It is. I was
Yeah.
making a joke that you work for the Bureau and that he had the Bureau in the corner, like the entire Bureau.
Yeah. Yeah, it's basically it's in that same box from that one Harry Potter story where the dude's kept in the box. So yeah, he comes back with the smaller box, and as he's listening to the conversation, then basically asks the group, so are you all interested in taking up this offer to basically be a ground team, investigations, the like?
For now, if only to keep your... L goes to say a word and stops. Researchers from hurting themselves.
Q.
Well, I am a firm believer that the
That
more
was-
we know about something, the better we can deal with it. Should it even require dealing with?
I
That's
meant
the
more...
case. I have.
I don't trust Ashley and anybody else in her position to do what we did last night.
Well, that's the
Maybe
point.
you should.
No, you misunderstand, Nathaniel. I don't think they're combat trained.
Yeah, Hayden's like clearly nodding, like, yes, this is the point. Like, your entire group came together seemingly at random and dealt with a situation. I was in the process of trying to find some people that, could deal with that. We were literally prepared to actually be rolling up there tonight with a number of guns to attempt to deal with this situation, and your group managed to deal with it. Yes, maybe not perfectly, but that's part of the problem with it. These are things that people typically are not trained in dealing with.
I mean,
And-
to be fair, none of us died, so I would say we dealt with it perfectly.
And for those such as, he's going to mention a name here. I gotta look back for it because it's an amazing name. Go on. Yes, Miss Vander Woodson. I would not like to put her in the field with something actively attempting to kill people. And she would definitely never forgive me for it. And I would not hear the end of it.
I don't think you're going to hear the end of anything from her.
Most likely not. Same with Miss Taylor, for instance. She has a number of very good skills. She's also great at her job and has a rather sizable network that she has kindly shared with us. And I would not like to jeopardize her existence
Now, my
by putting
question.
her up against something.
I'm interested in joining, but my question is this: two things. One, am I getting paid? Two, do I actually have a place to sleep and stay instead of hotels?
If you're in need of a more permanent abode, you're standing in it.
Very well.
And he kind of gestures like as if to suggest the whole area. And yes, you will be paid.
Works for me then.
This is dangerous. This is work after all. This isn't a charity.
I told you to find a source of income that didn't involve you rolling the creatures you killed.
Hey. I try.
Try harder.
So wait, you're asking me if I want to join an organization dedicated to protecting people from the nightmares, from the things that go bump in the night?
Don't you already do that?
Essentially, yes.
That's why I joined the boy. Are you kidding me? Where do I sign?
Yeah, I was literally just going to have to say that. Like, yes, we want to protect people from the boy. Are you man enough? But yeah, you're clearly man enough
No,
to do
but
this.
I'm
and
boy
be a
enough.
Yeah, well, he kind of slaps the table, and there's a noticeable wince. And then, well, that's settled then. And he stands up again and opens up the box and takes out a set of coins. Clearly, Igor will straight away immediately see that this is the coin that he just had a vision of, and he'll pass out the set of coins. Like, we are essentially a secret society. We don't operate openly because our intention is to keep these things secret.
That is generally the goal.
As was once mentioned, I forget who it was that I was speaking to that mentioned this, but effectively, this is the scary people that do bad things to worse things so that good people can sleep at night. That is our remit. To understand and protect people from these things. Will that involve killing them? Some. Others, we simply ensure that people don't interact with them if we can avoid it.
So that some of them will probably catch and go ship someplace else where they belong.
Well, we have had an interesting discussion with one of the governments in Europe about using certain technologies to keep things out of populated areas.
Oh. How many automatons are you sending at the prom?
I'm sorry, how many what?
Elle will look at Francis. There are some things that are still just
You mean
fiction.
robots?
Oh, those none.
Rossum's Universal Robots. It was a play that came out 3 years ago. Introduced the idea of mechanical servants of man called robots.
No, this is
Literally the
more.
first time the Western world has heard that word.
Yeah, he's like, no, this is more effectively fencing things in.
So trafficking. Got it.
You don't rehome these creatures. If they're violent enough that you need to move them, they're violent enough that they need to be beheaded.
Hungry
Suffice-
can look pretty evil on the
suffice to
wrong end of
say-
the cutlery.
Suffice to say, if anyone in Norway has a sword big enough, then they are welcome to attempt a beheading.
Are you... I don't like the implication of that.
What, you don't think giants are real?
Why is that, Francis?
You really don't. Okay.
Why would there be a fucking giant around here?
He said Norway.
Yes, he did.
So why would you assume it was around here?
Francis goes back to playing with his hat.
Look back at Hayden. You can continue now.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so he passes
Now,
out
when
the.
you say weapons and materials, you're not talking about using gas on American soil, are you?
Oh, good lord, no. Gas is definitely not controllable enough. You would
Good.
need.
While
you
the
would
Geneva
need
Convention
very
won't come into effect for another year, it was at least conceived and mostly ratified 3 years ago.
I mean, to be fair, as far as we're concerned, we're not interested in leveling city blocks and all those other open warfare tactics.
Geneva Convention also only applies to people, which most of these creatures would not fit the definition of.
So if anything, we'd
Yeah,
be
it's like
breaking it.
in a roundabout way, he's making that joke about the Geneva Convention. You mean Geneva Suggestion? But no, yeah, like it's kind of clear that this is not a group that's going to start mustard gassing the forest or something.
Unless
Mustard
there's
gas
the
in the
one
face.
creature where that's
Legitimate concern to have.
Oh
It's
yeah,
just
yeah,
Cain.
100%.
Cain
But
looking
no,
off to the
he's-
side.
If there was something that the
Definitely.
death toll without mustard gassing the entire eastern seaboard would stop. If the death toll was worse, if we didn't, then maybe. Though that's an incredibly extreme situation.
Like you said, just Cain looking off to the side. Definitely not use that.
Yes, that would be the apocalypse type event. Luckily enough, as far as we're aware, there has not been something like that happening that we've had to deal with on that level.
I'm sure if you search around enough, you could find some legends.
Just like I said, Cain looking off to the side.
Well,
still.
going back to Norway, Ragnarok is one of them.
Well, yes,
the order
if
of-
we ever have enough information to believe that that's a legitimate threat, then we may have to weigh our options. Though,
Oh yeah, let's stop a giant wolf while we're at it. A giant snake. Go for it.
well, who's to say what the future holds? Maybe one day we'll have our own navy and we'll send it to deal with it.
Ashley
Wouldn't-
starts
wouldn't
to
we have
walk
something?
in. I'm moving Ashley.
But I will take the coin. You secret societies and your unnecessary means.
Well, suffice to say, we simply don't want anyone randomly walking in here who isn't supposed to be here. And there are people involved in this organization who don't know any of you and would take issue with that. Obviously, I'm not worried particularly about anyone trying to kill any of you. I'm pretty sure you would be able to deal with anyone here, and should violence ever occur to that degree.
So y'all are here.
But not all of us have as what would be the correct way to say it? And like he's actually saying this. Not all of us have your way with words.
I was going more with they hold the coin, drop it into their other hand. These are easily stealable.
They are.
Stealable, and yet only a handful exist.
Yes,
Because
you-
everyone here is handpicked.
then that means everyone here should know what we look like.
In time,
It's also why the files exist.
Are you gonna have enough time? Or if you don't know if you don't recognize somebody and they have the coin, you're really gonna say, "Hold on, let me go get your file to confirm." Is the whole point of the coins to show so you can get through the door?
Actually starts going through his file. These pictures of me are terrible.
Well, then take new ones and hand them over.
They're all from the back. You never see my face.
well, you can take that up with my journalist friend. If you have a better camera. It is 1928.
That's if they know who the journalist friend is, Mr. Hayden.
Anyway,
Well, that's part of it.
Anyway, Mr. Hayden, I am almost done here. How are the initiates?
oh, no titles. That's not happening.
Yeah, no.
No titles. I
Two
don't know what else to
potentials.
call you. I mean, you're fairly
L.
new.
We've
You're
went-
not green.
It's just L. We've been through this.
Yes,
say we're a
L.
little bit.
But
I'd say
the
we're a little
others?
bit green, doll.
Yes.
Green dolls?
She looks
Green
at,
as in
Professor-
rookies.
looks at her fingernails.
He's got like immaculately green painted nails.
I'm to be green.
She's probably giving Francis a look as like, oh, I would vivisect you in a heartbeat. I don't expect I would learn anything, but I'd still do it.
I don't expect that to learn anything, but it'd be satisfying at this point.
You know, I always thought phrenology was a pseudoscience, but let's give it a try on you and see.
Please don't and say we did.
All right. Well, Mr. Hayden, I'm not so sure if you have shown them yet the nexus point, the actual piece yet, if you know
Oh,
what
we
I
had-
mean.
We haven't
Are
left
you-
this room, so your assertion's probably correct.
The Waystone.
Yeah, he
Oh.
straight up just says the Waystone, yeah.
After
I
all,
suppose no time like the present.
you might as well
Like
tell
this-
them what they truly are here for.
Well, they know what they're truly here for.
Isn't a waystone a path marker?
Rather observant,
Very.
Mr. Lake. Yes, there is a reason for our being here, and he taps the table in terms of like literally this location. There's a reason that we are set up here. Well, would you like to lead us there?
I actually don't have a picture of it, but
Yeah,
basically,
unfortunately not.
yeah, and I'm not going to use a picture that would definitely get me demonetized.
You don't have 100 subscribers yet, so it doesn't matter.
It matters to me.
Fair enough.
But you would go back into the hallway, and then she would open up what seems to be the wall, but actually is a door. And,
yeah.
huh?
I said, oh yay, more walls that open up to new doors.
There's a reason for this.
Balls.
If you haven't noticed, we are kind of being secretive for a reason.
Oh no, not at all. I would have never guessed.
You are going to be the muscle of the group, and I'm
Sort of
Brains.
State whispers to Cain, "How much you want to bet? There's another secret door somewhere at the end of this place too."
That wouldn't surprise me. That wouldn't surprise me if there's at least 2 or 3 others.
Oh, there's tons.
If I were a gambling man,
To
I'd
be-
take that bet.
To be fair, how much would your characters
Doors
know
all the
about
way down.
how much would your characters be aware of just how extensive the Freedom Trail is?
Francis would probably be extremely aware of it.
Right. Well, then, yeah,
Hmm.
because this is a place that was initially
Get
like
up.
it was built for the Freedom Trail. So yes, there are tons of secret doorways all over the place, and like little tunnels and secret pathways through the walls and everything. This is full on the Clue Mansion on speed.
Yeah,
Yes.
friends, there are tunnels that could stretch all the way to the border of Connecticut.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised about the secret tunnels.
No, anyway.
Yeah. Hayden.
And
nods,
I'm
like, yeah,
actually
this-
not joking about that.
Oh, I know you're
This-
not
this
joking about it
location-
because it's one of the things we looked up.
Yeah, Hayden kind of nods like, yes, this location is rather extensive.
not only extensive, but it is rather a nexus point for some things that go bump in the night. And she opens up another
Wait a
secret
minute.
door.
Oh god, don't tell me.
You're on a ley line.
See,
That's what God damn, that's what I figured.
And
Why do
when
you think
there's
I
a
keep
ley
coming back?
line, there is things that find a way through the ley lines.
Yeah, Hayden just kind of like shrugs and motions to Ashley, like, don't ask me about it. Ask the researcher that's been researching these for decades.
Not decades. I'm not that old, per se.
He just kind of laughs.
Love
And-
the little per se added it at the end. Like, can't make this a complete lie, so add per se.
from a certain point of view.
Yeah.
From a certain point of view, indeed. At least they don't know about me yet. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, so she'll lead the group through a bunch of more, like, you know, clearly pretend disused passageways and such, eventually leading down to a chamber which is not part of the original Foundation sort of setup that they're using for this whole structure. There's a couple armed guards that kind of tense up a little bit as the group comes along, and then of course as you enter an area where there's more lighting, the guards like relax, like, oh right, okay, yeah, these guys are meant to be here. And then you're ushered through a set of absolutely massive stone doors into a room which is perfectly spherical. Like, you could straight up do all of the like laser measurements and everything and find that this is probably the most spherical room on the planet. And it looks like it was dumped here.
Oh no, where's the snail?
Yeah, like, you would be surprised if maybe there's another plane. Looking at the room, it's perfectly spherical, and the texture of the floor changes. It's still clearly, you know, stone and everything, but it's a different kind of stone that just, like, you could clearly tell this is not
Normal
technically supposed to be
stone.
there. Yeah. And the other defining features of the room is there's a circle of stones built, almost like a portal, that's empty. And several of the stones have like scarring and like cracks through them. There's runes that basically none of you will actually recognize. Just, you'll know there's something about these, like they're probably important, but you don't know why. And there's also a set of pillars arranged around a central point that also have a bunch of runes. Some of them look similar, but they also appear to be from like many different languages. That they're effectively just, they appear like random runes and such. And there's a couple of people with like clipboards, like making notes and stuff, sketching some of the runes as if they're trying to work on like translation and such. That as soon as the doors are open and the group walks in, they kind of like sort of back up to the edges of the room, just like giving everyone space and everything. It's about 100 feet across, and there's what looks like the kind of marble effect you get when stone is heated up, but not quite to the point of liquefying into, you know, magma. And Hayden basically walks in and says, this is why we're here. Specifically, this place here. Because this was found quite some time ago, and we don't know if this is why things started to appear in this location, in this part of America. But it does worry a number of people if this ever activates, what might come through it.
And we're hoping it does not activate ever. But we need a team to find whatever was activated a long time ago and see if we can discover what may be going bump in the night around here.
Yes, in reference to your point earlier, Elle, Ashley here is not a field agent. I would not like to send her out to try and investigate something that may be related to this, only to find out that our lovely researcher has met an untimely end.
I am not going to be doing that kind of research. I'm not going out in the field. I am a homebody when it comes to working. Yes.
Also, I'm pretty sure if she died in the field, I would never hear the end of it. She would haunt me.
Indeed, I would haunt you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I would.
So that's
Through
why I'm
all
not saying
dimensions and time and space.
Right, and even afterward.
Interesting. You are an interesting man, are you not, Mr. Lake?
Said about the crazy so that people don't believe half the shit I say.
Oh.
I am the professor of letters, after all.
I believe that you believe it.
What, the stuff I say?
All of it.
I don't believe half of it, but I'm not telling which half.
See, I just think you're lying.
Believe what you want to believe, my friend. Doesn't make it any less true.
Not if you're lying.
But you wouldn't know.
See, the thing is, Francis, you're just now starting to walk in this world. I've already seen more than you would ever know.
Saying what I saw yesterday, I believed you even without explanation.
There's worlds that you'll never see and would never be able to understand.
This is true. Quite a few
fair enough.
dimensions and worlds out there that you will never see.
And many of them are much harsher than the one you reside on.
I, for one, will look through the lab eyes of it. I believe you are the mobile muscle for the group. We kind of... Mr. Hayden, I know you didn't say anything, but we did lose our muscle a while back. Things do not always go well.
Yes, as I alluded to before, the fact that you will be paid is because this is a dangerous job. We're not expecting those of you here to just do this because, you know, we are prepared to pay the danger fee.
Equivalent to $100 a month.
Yeah,
Oh.
actually gets you pretty far in 1920s.
Please, that's a pittance.
That's almost 2,000. And today,
Put that money towards helping the victims. I don't need it.
oh, speaking of victims,
Yes,
Candy-
speaking of,
Candy would like to talk to you, Mr. Hayden.
about
Well, I think she's finally ready to understand that this world exists.
Well,
But she
it's
does
a
have
little bit
questions,
hard.
of course.
Yes. Yes, it is a little bit hard to keep such things a secret when, unfortunately, she witnessed her boyfriend being killed by Alexander.
Unfortunately.
Yes.
I do not think she would be good for the mobile group.
No.
Oh, heavens no.
Maybe she could become an assistant down the road in the
That's
lab.
entirely up to her. That's entirely up to her.
Yes.
As I alluded to Elle earlier, and for the benefit of the rest of those present, when we take people in, for want of a better term, into custody briefly, we have no intention of keeping them. Essentially, we make sure that they are medically fine, and we try and offer them as best we can for the psychological impact. And
Interesting
we
enough,
do our
Candy.
best to support them.
Interesting enough, Candy was going into psychiatry. Might be interesting for you, sir.
If she wishes to enter this, it's entirely of her own accord.
Mm-hmm.
So I assume for the people that you bring into quote unquote custody, they're the ones that say, you could tell people about this, but they probably won't believe you.
Essentially.
Not the tact you should be using.
Well, what would you rather we do? Lock them up and throw away the key? For being victims of something they had absolutely no say in.
No, you misunderstand. Immediately walking up to them and saying, you can tell people what you've seen, but they won't believe you, isn't the way you open up, Francis.
But that is for sure.
Oh, yeah, Hayden kind of, alright, you were referring to him with the stupid idea. Okay. That's me assuming you were talking to Hayden about that.
No.
I mean, I wouldn't walk up to people and say that.
You literally just said it as a suggestion.
True.
I wouldn't expect you to do it. That would put you at the forefront, someplace you don't like to be.
Kelly.
Anyway,
I prefer not to be at the
Honestly-
forefront unless I'm stabbing somebody.
Honestly, I have a habit of hearing what Francis says, and I base my understanding of what I assume he meant. I have noticed that he does like to shorthand things a bit.
but Ashley, if you wouldn't mind leading on, I'd like to talk to Candy.
Oh, of course. Well, and she takes you back. And this time you're going to head through the locked vault.
You want us all to come?
I don't care. It really doesn't matter to me what you do.
It doesn't matter anymore. You might as well see the rest of the place.
As going
Fair
through
enough.
a locked vault, Elle will stop, look back at Hayden, being like, really? This is where you're keeping him?
He just kind of shrugs. We didn't build the entire location. We're using the rooms as best we can. There are a number of things I would like to change about this location, but unfortunately we can't exactly bring in a massive construction crew.
I'm back.
A secret base isn't exactly
Yeah,
a secret if you have to hire people.
But
Unfortunately, you're about 19% correct.
let's say on the flip side of that, if you don't hire somebody with the skills to maintain it, you can't maintain it.
This is true.
Yes.
Anyway,
I mean, to be fair, as you're walking through the location, you do notice there's not a lot of people, but there's a noticeable amount of people milling around,
we're just not having
Yeah.
any
doing
markings.
various
Yeah.
things in the background.
Candy comes into this room as well. After she's Candy, come this way. Mr. Hayden would like to speak to you, please. And,
He immediately stops, looks at Ashley, and says, "You said she wanted to talk to me. So which is it?"
Well, of course. She wants to talk to you. But you are wanting to talk to her right now, correct?
Yes, well, it's...
Semantics. Anyway, she's here.
Well, specifically, somebody does want to talk to her. Points to L.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, Elle. And, you
Yeah,
will...
Hayden will sort of gesture to her, and as you can see, unharmed, unbrainwashed, not sacrificed.
And in one of Ashley's dresses.
I like how you have to specify not sacrificed.
Well, he has been playing Cult of Cthulhu.
Yeah, honestly, like, the room that you guys have just been led from is straight up sacrificial portal room is the vibe that you get walking in there.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So it's like clearly, you know, and
Like somebody
also
just has to fucking die
secret-
on that altar. It doesn't even have to be a ritual.
Yeah, exactly. The only thing missing is the blood-stained altar in the middle.
Yeah, all somebody has to do is die in that room and leak blood everywhere.
Oh,
That's
please.
the only prerequisite.
Maybe.
If your altar is bloodstained, all of your future sacrifices are tainted. Clean your shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
You know, see that's the problem with all of those Lovecraftian ones. They don't clean the sacrificial knife properly. See, that's why they get Cthulhu instead of the sex demons that they're after.
Oh god, fucking Miskatonic University. Ugh!
Does that exist?
Mr.
Because Lovecraft is.
Mr. Hayden? Is that you? That's you, sir?
Oh god, I hate the accent.
It's
keep going.
transatlantic. Give me a
Yeah,
break.
yeah, keep going with it. Keep going with it. Yeah. It. Yes. How are you feeling?
I'm doing fine, sir. Or better, if you could understand. I'm still trying to understand what happened, but sir, you tell me that this has been here all along.
What's been here all along?
The facility.
This place.
Oh yes, this place has been here a long time. Most of it has been disused for a number of years,
Couple decades.
give or take.
And you're to tell me that what happened to my betrothed?
Yes, Mitch.
Wait. You guys were already engaged?
He was going to ask me to marry him.
Well, your
That-
condolences have been lost, but yes. He has unfortunately been taken from this world.
Well, I can't. I just can't let that go. I know I can't tell anybody, but I just can't let it go. I mean, he was going to be the one, and
What has taken him from this world has been dealt with. You don't have to worry about that. It also is no longer of this world. Mostly.
Mr. Hayden.
Yes, suffice to say, the creature has been dealt with.
Hmm.
So you are not in any danger.
Well,
Please from that.
how do I let them all know that he's gone?
You leave that to the rest of us. It is a story to spin, but it is one you'll have to keep up.
I'll do my
Yes,
best.
there is no issue in what's the term? Yeah, there's no issue in the fact that, they obviously he will have funeral respects and everything will be paid. He is an innocent victim in this. The only thing we will obfuscate is the manner of his passing.
If anybody asks, it is a drowning.
Was his body ever recovered?
No.
No. Yeah, most definitely no. When
We set part of it on fire when we were fighting.
yeah, no,
Oh, come on. Some of it
No,
was
that-
floating around
that
in
was-
the goo, man.
that was Alexander. No, he didn't eat people.
There was like a finger floating around in there.
He kind of did eat people, but in a sense
No, I didn't say.
that...
I didn't say he ate him. I just said there's a piece floating in there because it got stuck in the muck.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, like the kind of thing I was going for in that
Drain.
creature design is, in the Mummy when Imhotep like grabs
Yeah.
people and like, he basically sucks out their life force. That's essentially what he
Yeah,
was doing.
that's what they were doing.
So what you're
Yeah.
saying is the mud is basically ashes and
No.
dust
No,
of dead people.
no,
No.
and if you ask Ashley once she's had a chance to research Alexander directly, she will tell you all about him.
Fair enough.
Because when I
Anyway.
made that point of he's not dead, well, that's because he's not dead. He's defeated, he's not dead.
For now.
But that's literally because of the state he is in.
We'll remedy that problem later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Hayden can sort of mention that yes, it's been dealt with. The right people to ensure no panic hears through the community are seeing to it that panic doesn't happen. And honestly, all we can do is ask that you help to maintain this ruse. Unfortunately, you are also a victim of this, where through no fault of your own, and he sort of makes a point of emphasizing this. You are a completely innocent party in this, so that's why we have no. Why we aren't trying to figure out a way to lock you up or anything like that.
Thank you for that, sir. Because they
Yeah.
were talking about the asylum when I got in when I was getting in that car. And I was like, I don't want to go to an asylum.
Oh, yes, Deputy Dipshit. Yeah, ignore him.
Yes, that is the reason I'm very thankful that Elle here brought you to us rather than allow the police to take you into custody, because clearly they do not understand what they're dealing with when it comes to the impact that these kind of things have. And
I don't understand what the impact was. But I
Yes.
get that you need to keep the secret. And I'll do my best.
and you will have my eternal gratitude for that.
I just hope nobody else is gonna go through this.
The sad thing is, even if there weren't monsters in the world, people are going to go through things like this. It happens, unfortunately, every day in the world.
Bad but true.
Mm.
But, the other side, there are people who endeavor to keep things like that from happening.
Like you.
Usually.
Yeah, it's one of those things where not everybody comes out of the shadows, but those who do have somebody fighting with them. We are the ones who fight with them. We are the ones who knock.
Aiden
You
just
get
kind of eyebrow raises, like, what the
Excuse
fuck
me?
is
What,
he on about?
what is he talking about?
Oh, he's
Yeah,
referencing a TV show that's not going to come out for another
We're
90-ish
attempting
years.
to-
Oh, TV is just never mind. Don't worry about it.
We're attempting to limit the psychological trauma of this poor girl.
Kane's just
And
gonna
you're
take
giving
like
everyone psychological trauma, Mr.
no,
Wade.
Kane is just gonna like grab Francis by the back of the back of his neck and just drag him away. Like nope, okay, you're done talking.
Poor Francis. He's getting put in the timeout corner.
No, he's not getting put in the timeout corner. He's getting put in the timeout room.
Well, I don't know how I can help more than keep the ruse, but maybe eventually I
Well-
can help.
And
Because I really don't want anybody to go through this again. It's...
are there like chairs in this room?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's several.
All right, and Elle will put two face to face and ask Cain to sit down.
She will sit down. Or is it
So here's
sheer
the
right
thing.
next to her?
Here's the thing with that. You have a decision to make. It's not an easy one, unfortunately. The sad truth is, what happened to you last night, you're going to keep with you forever.
Yes.
There is a way to remove it, but it's not. I don't recommend it. It can go terribly wrong in too many ways.
I have one question. Did you ever find that man who was hiding behind that tree?
Yes.
Yes.
Actually.
Yes. He has also been dealt with.
Francis, you're not there.
Yes.
Oh, right,
That-
I got tracked out.
That person was unfortunately a completely separate incident, and it has been dealt with. He cannot hurt anybody.
Oh. Hey, you give me the heebie-jeebies, I'll tell you.
Oh, you should have. He was a. You know what? Doesn't matter.
Oh, you talking about Freddy?
Yep.
Yeah.
Ah. But you have a choice to make. Yeah, like I said, you're gonna carry this with you for the rest of your life. You can bury it and move on as if, or try to move on as if nothing happened. Maintain the narrative we spin and go forward from there. That is you walking away from the other side of the curtain. Your other choice is to move to the other side of the curtain. To plunge fully into the world that has, for lack of a better term, and everybody's gonna laugh at this, penetrated your life already.
Lover?
Yes, I'm aware.
Heyo.
And I don't... we don't need more fighters currently. Not yet. But the real question you have to ask yourself is, do you want to go behind the curtain? Because once you do, there's no going back.
Honestly, I'm not sure.
Calm down. It is a big decision.
It's still frightening.
It always will be.
And the things that are in the other room, they're kind of frightening too.
What?
Well, this
Oh, the circle. Never mind.
stuffed werewolf and
The what now?
the thing in the lab
Yeah,
over there.
In the process, some random comes like backing through a doorway with like a handful of folders and files and stuff. Sort of sees the group there. It kind of like has that look on their face, like, "Oh shit, I'm not supposed to be here," and just kind of like backs away. But you can see through to the room that Candy was in before.
Is there a taxidermied werewolf?
Yes.
No, there is not a taxidermied werewolf. There is there's an old style hunting trophy plate, like you would have a deer head, but it's a werewolf head. There are clearly some other like cryptid parts that are in various stages of having been researched in the other room. You know, like effectively, you could probably tell that like someone's probably trying to work out like why is it that silver works on werewolves, kind of thing.
Yeah. Yes. Those are other creatures like exist on the other side of the curtain.
At first I thought they were a joke, but they're real. And I can't believe.
Yeah, because also that researcher that has the armful of stuff, when they make eye contact with Ashley, she gives them a look like, "Oh, you are going on the table next week. You are seriously going to lose your legs for this." Like you
Yeah.
can clearly tell she did not want this girl led through the fucking lab works room.
Yeah, she didn't.
Yeah.
Through my
Anybody who's paying
lab, what the
attention
hell?
can also clearly tell that Elle is upset that the place they decided to keep her was where the war trophies were.
Yeah, like Hayden's also got this kind of look like, "Oh my god, what the fuck were you thinking when you took her through that room?"
Well, to be
I'm not
fair,
angry with you.
Ashley didn't
I'm
do
just-
it. Her assistant
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, well, this is the point. Like, everyone's kind of looking at that assistant who's like backing out of the door. Like, their face is just basically them saying, "Oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. I have fucked up immensely." And everyone's just like, "We're not angry. We are just incredibly disappointed that you."
No,
chose
Elle's
that
actually
route."
angry.
All right, yeah, Elle's angry, but Hayden and Ashley are like super disappointment that
Very
chose that
disappointed.
route to bring the traumatized young girl through.
You were 2 days from promotion.
Yeah,
Kane's
now,
gonna-
now you're 2 years minimum.
Kane's gonna finally walk back in. It's like Francis is taken care of.
Oh, good.
Looks to see if there's any blood on Cain. Okay, he's not dead.
Hey, no, I just tied him up. That's all.
Did you seriously tie him up?
No, he's kidding.
I'd be completely serious.
Hayden
Nope,
actually-
he's kidding.
actually
Nope, he's kidding.
Hayden actually gets up because he's been sort of like sitting against a table. He stands up, walks across the room. No, he's having a cup of tea.
Oh. Back
What?
to Candy. Candy's like, yeah, I just didn't expect to see things like that.
No one
I-
ever does.
They're real.
Yes.
How does one forget what they've
You
seen?
don't. At least not right away. If you choose to return to your normal life, one day these scars will fade. The memories with them.
One day.
It won't.
But it won't bring back my Mitch.
No, it won't. And things that can, shouldn't. Don't make a decision now. You really need to think on it and consider your options. Yes. But, decision, think about it. Yes. And if you ever need to, I am available to talk. To help you through this.
I accept.
Whether
need
you choose to
somebody.
whether you choose to enter this world or not.
Won't
And
Brandy
Hayden will
get upset or no?
Randy, she's upstairs.
Yeah, Hayden will do the kind of like stage cop and mention to Andy that obviously the archivists are here for you as well, as much as required.
I think I want to take a few days. I hope I don't see that deputy.
Oh, Deputy Dipshit? No, he's been moved to another district for a couple days.
Weeks.
Good. I need a few days from this fall. If you don't mind, Mr. Hayden, maybe I'll see you next week.
Oh,
He-
of course.
He's gonna turn back to Francis like, wait, when did you?
Excuse me?
Makes sense.
Yeah,
Makes sense that he dozed off, doesn't it?
No, no, it's just because he had you tied up in another room. It's just when did? How?
Just one of the assistants is like, man, fucking living rope happened again, and then undid him.
Yeah.
Damn it!
No,
Yeah,
no.
I
You
GM'd you having a cup of tea.
Oh, nice.
I had you legit tied
Well
up.
tied up. Got it.
All right.
I will say, when people go through a trauma, especially when they lose somebody, they make very bad they have a tendency to make some very bad mistakes. In this case, the mistake has a name. His name's Gary.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say me.
No,
Gary.
I'm referring to her ex.
Not fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hedano mentioned, yes, the gentleman who had decided to start a fight.
Yes, Gary.
Don't
I don't.
go.
I can't. He'll hurt me so.
Whoa. Hang on.
There's a reason why I never wanted to go back with him. He's a little
He
bit
just came to-
forceful. I don't like him.
Cain pulling out his brass knuckles.
Hayden's gonna like
The right
wave
guy
to-
ground.
Yeah, well, Hayden's gonna wave like a sort of down boy kind of gesture to Cain, and be like, I don't expect anyone other than Candy here to be aware of this, but Gary does have something of a reputation around the campus for not exactly being
I'm
the
aware.
most gentlemanly. Yes, Mr. Lake will have heard the rumors as well.
Okay. Has he ever actually
Rumors.
hurt you, or does he just have a problem taking no?
He has a problem taking no.
Okay.
We're going to be dealing with that sometime.
He may require a stern talking to. I don't believe he requires more drastic dealing with.
I believe a manners lesson is in order.
Yes. Yes, I fully agree with that, Al.
I just don't want to see him ever again. And he just keeps showing up.
If he continues to harass you, let me know.
Sure, El. He's never done anything to me in that sense.
Yet.
But I'm not going back with him. I don't care what he says.
Good. Now, let's get you home.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Hayden. Lady Ashley. I don't know the rest of you, but thank you, and perhaps we'll see you again. Thank you, Al.
Yes, this is Cain, my rougher counterpart in what we do.
Okay.
You.
Hi, Cain.
Hello.
I believe you've at least seen Francis there around campus. He is a professor.
Yep.
Yes, Professor of Letters.
Yep. That's my
Right.
official title.
May I recommend you take a change in your given field, maybe become a professor of folklore? I might help sell the archivist side.
It might actually, yeah.
Do you know what a professor of letters is?
No, and I
Not a
don't
clue.
care.
A person who studies all literature.
Yeah, Hayden literally mentions it means he has a PhD in literature. Like, he is literally a doctor of letters. That's what
Everyone to college.
doctorate is.
I had to take him for the first year, Mr. Lake. Professor Lake. Sorry.
He taps his hat.
Never went to college. I wouldn't know.
Anyway.
You went to the best school, my friend, the School of Hard Knocks.
You know, there are not many women who come here. We come here only for like a few classes, and then we go back to the other college.
Oh, right.
Someday they'll let us in here, I'm sure. Someday.
I guarantee it.
Yes. This gentleman over here is Nathaniel. He is a member of the government agency known as the Bureau of Investigation.
Oh my goodness. I hope
You're-
I am
you're
not
fine.
on the. Okay.
No.
Yes. All right.
Actually, if anybody's in trouble because of him, it is Deputy Dipshit.
Right.
I mean, Kane's gonna kind of think about it. Yeah, there was that one time for me.
I mean, he did just threaten to send him back to Alaska for the toilets again.
I don't think this particular breach in etiquette requires that. Here is
Take care.
Igor.
Take care.
Reference to the shortest, if
Ice.
only because they're forced to hunch.
I'm glad I'm sitting in the chair. Igor? That's your name? Oh. Oh, if you wouldn't mind walking me home.
I'll walk you to my
Appreciate it.
car, and then I'll drive you home.
Oh, well, that's even better.
Then we get the anime eyes at the overly expensive car.
Yes.
Yeah, literally, she follows Jazz and like, wow!
I feel almost.
It's like, oh my god, is your car worth more than the library? Yes. Yeah, there we go. That is her exact reaction.
Yeah, and with that, I think we could call it
Yeah.
today. It is 9:00. It is.
Being noticed in regards to the being driven home thing is on a couple of corners. Elle would definitely notice that there is a car following, and if they were to then go back and like end up asking Hayden about it, it's like there's a couple there's a dude in a car sent to just keep an eye on her, make sure like none of the like journalists and all that start fucking around with her and such.
It would actually be probably Hayden bringing up something to Elle from an incident report, because Elle would spot that. Stop.
Oh
somewhere.
yeah, like straight up. If it's like 2 days later, he's like, did you beat up a guy on such and such a street? Yes. Please don't. I sent him to keep an eye on her just to make sure no one messes with her. Did he not tell you? Well, I don't know.
pretty
When I
much.
smacked him, I could just hear him saying something about, I was told to be here, and that just made me hit him harder.
It's very much the thing of like it looked like Elle was going to beat the ever living shadow, and then they pulled the coin, and then Elle was gonna be like,
You should have led with that.
Yeah.
this, because Elle is used to working like either solo or in very small teams, so it's like this is going to take some getting used to.
Yeah, just, please don't hurt me. I'm you're on your side. Don't kill me.
I'll buy you a drink.
All right, and with that, I believe we're going to bring this to a close for this session. I hope you all had fun. And for our viewers, thank you for joining us and listening to our game. Have a wonderful day and goodbye.
No.